Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see here, we're going to do a little bit of learning here about my company on my Morph Market page. And I wanted to cover a couple things in this video. As you can see here, my 5540 is gone, so that means all of my adults have been sold and shipped. Actually, as of recording of this video, I have nothing listed in my store because the hatchlings that I have, either that have hatched a lightning pied stuff or hatching, aren't available yet. So I have 0 things in my store. But a lot of you, I don't know if you're new to the channel, have been following along, have been asking why I'm getting out of the reptile hobby, out of the ball python breeding industry. So I wanted to cover that in this video. And I also wanted to provide, I don't know, I want to pat myself on the back a little bit because I crossed a pretty big milestone this past week in terms of the actual business. And I wanted to kind of give you guys, some of you, I guess, clowns that pop up here and think you know more than me about running a business like this and have stupid comments. Trying to show you that you really don't know anything. So if you think I'm being a little arrogant here, it's because I am. And at some point, I just kind of felt like, you know what? When people show up on this channel and feel like they know more than I do, or want to have stupid rage fest comments about whatever they are, then you know what? I'll show them why they're wrong, and this is it. So I am one of, hopefully this shows up clearly on here. As you can see here, I have, I gotta get my finger out of there, hold on. I have almost, come on guy, maybe I'll do it like this. There we go. I have almost 1,300 followers. Why isn't this showing up here? All right, there we go. I have almost 1,300 followers on Morph Market here. Apparently this isn't gonna work. Come on, focus. There we go. 250 ratings on Morph Market, and that is without me overproducing like the majority of people on Morph Market do. 5-star ratings out of those 250 ratings. I'm sure I am actually one of the few people with this top seller badge here with 250 ratings. I'm one of very few sellers that have over 1,000 followers on Morph Market. And this is what I wanted to show you here. So if we go to stores, this is all of Morph Market. This isn't just on, this isn't just reptiles or just ball pythons. This is everybody that has 250 ratings. Oh, look, there's me. 0 ads. There's only 54 stores on all of Morph Market that have 250 plus ratings. And guess what? I'm the only one with 250. Everybody else has 400, 500, 300, 600, 300, 300, 250, 270, 300, 400. I have the fewest amount of ratings in this club, but I have a higher percentage of followers to ratings out of everybody on Morph Market. I also am not overproducing. So as you can see here that I have 0 ads available. This guy, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I guess I am. He has 780 listings. Tell me that's not overproducing. 188 listings, 646 listings, 448, 580, 702. You tell me that any of these people, and hey, let's just call everybody out. These assholes are going to sell all those animals. No. So the people that have been naysayers who have to come onto my channel to argue about every stupid little thing, you're idiots too. Because I obviously know what I'm doing. I am one of 54 stores on all of Morph Market that have 250 plus ratings, and I'm the only one on there with 0 ads because I know how to sell a snake. So if you're gonna come to my channel, come to learn. I am here to teach people. That is what this whole channel has been about. But if you can't come here and pick up some information, you're a loser and you're going to lose tons of money in this industry. I know what I'm talking about, and this is the point in time where I'm just sort of fed up with people thinking they know better, because I am here to teach. And if you don't want to learn, then leave the channel. The people that are here to learn from me, that are asking questions, that are absorbing what I'm saying, are going to be so much better off. And that's what this whole channel is about. But you look through that. Go on Morph Market yourself. Type in people that have ratings 250 and up. You'll see all 54 of those stores. Some of them are geckos, some of them are spiders, a lot of them are probably ball pythons. I'm completely sold out of inventory at this point because I know how to sell stuff. That's it. So if you want to learn how to run your business, listen to what I'm trying to tell you, because nobody else on there can say that. Some of those are more established businesses that have hundreds and hundreds of listings, aging listings that are 6 months, a year old, 2 years old, because either they produce too much crap or they're not willing to actually sell those animals. They'd rather have them sit there, probably be maintenance fed in the racks, and be ill cared for. I don't do that shit. I take care of my animals. Anybody that buys them from me knows that. And I get them out the door, so that money's in my pocket. So now that I went on that rant, here's the other aspect of this. This is the behind the scenes of the dashboard on Morph Market. This is the other aspect for all you hotshots out there that think you know what you're talking about. Now, these numbers aren't completely accurate because I was talking about this in another video. This isn't the actual price of what everything I sold was, because that's what the prices are when they weren't on sale. But let's even say this is $500,000. How many of you clowns out there that have 2 listings have sold $500,000 worth of snakes? Now, the 526 animals sold, that's correct. But guess what? Guess what that also tells you? That I'm a great salesman, because I only have 250 ratings. That means basically half of my sales are to the same people. That means they either come back or they buy multiples off of me. That is the way you want to do business. So I have great success at selling, upselling, selling multiples to the same person. And I have sold some really nice animals on a very small amount of inventory. That's basically, if I'm saying this is $500,000 out of 500 animals, I'm averaging $1,000 an animal. All you knuckleheads out there, what is your average sale price of a snake? I'm averaging $1,000 an animal over 500 animals. That's not a small sample size. I know what I'm doing. What I've been doing here for 6 years is proof of that. So listen to what I'm saying. Everything that I say comes from a place of intelligence and from me wanting to help people so they don't make the mistakes I made in the beginning. To be honest, if I had somebody like me telling me what to do from the start, I would probably be well over $1 million in actual profit, because I made a lot of mistakes up front. So go back through my channel, look at everything that I've posted. These last 4 months or so that I'm still in the industry, if you have questions and want to learn stuff, look through my channel. If that information isn't in my channel, then please comment on one of these videos and ask me what you want in terms of content. You'll have to excuse me, I'm still getting over this cold. Now it's at the point where it's just like sitting in my chest, so it's hard to breathe a little bit sometimes. So that covers that. Now back to the other half of this video, which is why am I getting out of this hobby? If you don't know, if you haven't watched, I basically announced back in April around that I was getting out of the hobby. That's when I finally decided to do it. To be honest, the simplest way to put it is trading stocks. That's really what propelled me to finally make that decision. I have made more in stocks in a single day than I have in selling snakes in months of work. And that's when it dawned on me that, man, I'm good at this other thing. It requires a lot less work. I finally figured out how to take my emotions out of trading stocks and how to look at the numbers. And even if I buy something and it's a bad position and I'm down a little bit, I know that it's okay. Like that's just how the market works. They will try to steal your money from you. I got to ride it out, and then eventually it goes up double, right? That was the main thing for me as to why I'm getting out of the hobby. The other part was, I think I was at the end of last year, I started to kind of sell off a lot of the stuff I didn't want. I was definitely downsizing, right? And that was my plan, was to keep like maybe 20 or so adults for this year and breed 20 so clutches. I think I'm going to end up with like 11, I think 10 or 11 clutches this season. I don't remember exactly. So I basically didn't even breed half the females I had originally. And when I started doing that, I was also able to cut down my rodent production, I think in half. Basically, I had 2 rodent racks. I cut it down to 1 rodent rack. And when I saw how much, and this was like maybe December, because I stopped, my store was, again, the only person doing this, my store was completely sold out by December. I had nothing left. So I was like, wow, I got rid of basically a whole rack of snakes. I got rid of a whole rack of rodents. And I was like, my my life drastically improved at that point, to be honest. I had been going at this so long and so hard that I didn't know what it was like to like take a break. Because if you don't know, I have a small IT help desk business that I run, 9 to 5 during the week. I was obviously doing snakes full time as well, basically, and I was trading stocks. Plus, I have kids and a family at home. So, as many of you out there are probably doing multiple things at the same time as well, I was just kind of stretched way too thin, and it was stressing me the hell out. Especially because prices in the snakes started to fall a little bit. That's not why I'm getting out, but it definitely caused me more stress. I knew at some point prices would level out. I know at some point prices would come back up. I didn't know how long, and I still don't know how long it's going to take to do it. But all of those things factored into it. So over the winter, as I had the lower workload in the snake room, I started thinking about it more, started talking to my wife more, started trading more because I wasn't really selling stuff, and I really didn't have clutches. I think I only had 1 or 2 clutches in the first 4 or 5 months of the year, like in terms of actually having babies, and those sold out early too. So I started thinking about it more, and I was looking at what I still had left in my rack, and I talked to my wife a little bit, and I was like, you know what? At this point, I was like kind of half out. I had like 1 foot out the door. And the way I do things in life is, I'm either all in or I'm all out. Like I don't half-ass something. Like I need to put my all into something to enjoy doing it. And I realized that as I sold off half the collection, that wasn't me just lowering my workload. I think that was me telling myself, this has run its course. Like I'm just at the point where I did a lot. I made some good money, made some amazing animals. I learned a lot about myself in terms of perseverance and the ability to adjust to different situations. Building a business from the ground up for the first time, because I really, obviously, by those numbers I showed you earlier, I did treat this as a business, not as a hobby. And I succeeded at it from the initial standpoint. If I wanted to keep this going long term, I definitely could have. But I just thought to myself, the amount of hours and time I had to spend between working in here and being on social media and trying to sell was a lot of time. And at this point, I don't want to invest that much time or any time into it anymore. And I talked about this to my wife all the time. I hate social media. Like I hate social media. I hate Instagram. I tried TikTok for a while and I hated that. I actually didn't have an Instagram account until I started this business. Like I didn't have one for myself. I had never even used Instagram before I started this business. No, I actually enjoy making videos on YouTube because it's not me talking with people or having to communicate with people. It's me just making content. And if people like to watch it, they watch it. And if not, I don't care. Because I like to talk about what I like to talk about. Like, I could see myself making a channel about stocks at some point. But even then, like, I don't even know if I want that extra workload, right? Like, to me, if I continue to be as profitable trading stocks as I am, that's like a ticket to me not having to work more. So I don't know. I might get bored, to be honest. I might have to think about other things to do with my time. So maybe I would make a channel for that. But that's kind of where it kind of all brought me to was I'm doing this other thing that's making me more money with a lot less time. Um, I can reduce my number of jobs down drastically. To be honest, I mean, I might be trading full time in a couple years or less, depending on how well the rest of the year goes. Um, what I do trading wise isn't dependent on the economy. It's not dependent on any one stock. It's just, swing trading basically, things that have momentum. And you ride the momentum on them. And so that's where I'm at. And I'm happier that way. It's made my life a lot easier, and that's where I'm at. So, my view for this industry moving forward is it's always going to be here. The only thing that would ever derail that is some sort of regulations in the United States in terms of what can and can't be done with reptiles. I don't know if that's coming or not. I don't know how well USARK is going to fend that off. When you look at stuff like this and there's single stores with 700 plus animals, that is 110% overproduction. And eventually stuff like that needs to be regulated because I don't know if there needs to be limits to how many animals can be in any facility. But that's not okay. And those animals one person cannot take care of all those animals. It's not possible. I was stressed. I've never really had more than 150 in here. And that was babies that I was selling plus adults I was keeping. I've never really had more than that. And that was stressful for me. So I can't imagine having 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times that when you don't have employees. And even employees can only take care of so much, even if it's their 9 to 5 job. So, the animal's welfare does come into play with, I think, at some point, regulations. And to be honest, the reptile industry should regulate itself before somebody else does. Because if the government comes in and starts trying to regulate this stuff, it's not going to be good. And you're already seeing that with some of the animals that are outlawed in some states where Burmese pythons or tegus or whatever, when they start encroaching, the government starts encroaching on stuff like that, it's not good for anybody. So I think people still have the ability to make decent money off of selling these snakes, assuming that they're creating nice animals. And for what I consider to be nice animals, look at the stuff I produce. You don't see me producing bananas or Mojaves or clowns. If I hit a clown in this last clutch where I had a 5-gene male bred to a 2-gene clown female, I could be making 6-gene clowns. If I were to get a clown out of that clutch, that would literally be the worst odds in the world. Like hitting a zero gene clown on that would just be as probable as me hitting a 6-gene clown on that. Like that's something, So, I don't make anything that's kind of lower end than that. And, if I hit something at $500, it's very few and far between. So as long as you're making animals that can consistently sell for 500 plus, hopefully 1,000 plus, then you're going to be doing all right. You're going to be making decent money, even if it's in small batches. Think about it. If you have 10 babies you sell and they're average $1,000 a piece, you made $10,000. And for a lot of people, that makes a huge difference in their life, even if it's just a hobby and you're not treating it as a full-time business. So you don't need to breed thousands of animals. You can breed 10 and still make good money off of it. And that's the key to all of this. Like, you need to listen to that information when I'm saying it. I'm not saying it because I think I know everything. I'm saying it because I do know everything there is to know about what you need to produce to keep your business afloat. And this is, I'm not like coming out of the woodwork spewing stupid information. I showed you the numbers. I showed you how much I've sold in snakes. I've showed you my ratings. I've showed you the elite company that I'm in that area. I know what I'm talking about. So you guys just need to let that sink in when I'm speaking about it. So, I mean, just look how this room has changed now. I mean, I have, so I if you don't know me, here's a little bit more about me. I love Halloween. So I like to put out like a big display in the front yard every year. And I've decided to switch it over to being more graveyard related. And Home Depot had their big drop of Halloween stuff last week, 2 weeks ago, and they have a hearse. So I got this big hearse that has a skeleton driving it, and they have this skeleton horse as well. For some reason, they made the hearse, it was a regular hearse color. For some reason, the skeleton was black. So I don't know why it was black. It was the color of what's the inside of the eye here. So I decided to get spray paint, fossil colored spray paint, and spray paint it black. So that's what's in here now. I have this one rat rack left, the incubator, my chipping supplies, this 4x2 that's still for sale, this table that I'm probably gonna end up keeping in here, and my baby rack. That's it, all my tools and extra stuff here. This is really it. I have this rack, the incubator, and that rack. That's all that's left in here. So, I'm basically just babies only at this point. I am. Adults are all gone. The 5540 is already disassembled. It's already sold, so don't ask about it. This is also sold as well. So is the incubator. So that's it. I mean, I'm just babies should all be hatched by the first week of October. Hopefully those babies are ready by the end of October. And hopefully, my goal is to have everything sold prior to Thanksgiving so that it's all sold and gone and out of here. So again, there's let's just say by the time this posts, August is almost over. You have September and October, November, and I most likely will be done posting videos by the end of the year. I might have some things to wrap up after Thanksgiving in the month of December where everything's quiet. I might have a couple babies left. My goal is not to. But so at that point, I'm going to be wrapping up, even making YouTube videos. So get your questions in while you can, while I'm still actually actively making content. Just quickly, if you're still around watching the video at this point, I do have basically 2 things for sale left in here. If you're local to Pittsburgh, I have this 4x2. I think it's 4x2 by 15 tall of Bavarian Electronics. It was never used. I put substrate in there to use it and never did. It has a big under tank heater that basically fits this whole side, and it has this rolling pedestal. It's all Vivarium Electronics, barely used. That's available. And I have this Freedom Breeder stainless steel rack. It has the small tubs up top that are good for mice. As you can see there, got some mices in there. And then you have these bottom ones, which I use for ASFs. As you can see, you could put mice in there too. It'd be kind of a waste. So there's 8 levels. As you can see there, I have 2 extra tubs of each size up top. So there's 20 of the small tubs and then 12 of the bigger tubs. Stainless steel. I have not the diaphragm, the brass nipples I put on there. They were not the diaphragms because I hate the diaphragm, so I traded them out. And then I also have a pressure regulator that I have attached to it, so you can attach this directly to a water hose. So that I'd give that away with it too. So if you're looking for that, it's a more expensive rat rack. It was worth every penny. I would never personally go back to the DIY rat racks. You never have to worry about breakouts in this or anything falling apart. I mean, it's just very well made. So, if you're in the market for that, that would be available once everything's sold in here. So, Thanksgiving time. This 4x2 is available now. So if you want either of those things, hit me up. They're ready. That's ready to go. That will be ready to go. But we can do a deposit on that so you can reserve it when it's ready to ship. So that's it. Hopefully, everybody that was curious about what I was getting out, this answers the question. Yeah, that's it. And we'll see you next video.